Okay, here's part 3 of lecture 1-1. This is just going to be some questions now. No new content, just asking you some questions about what we've just covered. So let's move on to some kinetic and potential energy. Okay, identify these pictures. Is it kinetic energy or potential energy that is shown? So go ahead and pause it and write down your answers. And when you come back, we will do the answers here. So let's start at the top. A plate of food, right, has potential energy based on the stored compositional, uh, the composition of the food. And then, of course, your body can break it down and convert it into kinetic. So this woman running has the energy of motion, most generally, right? Of course, she still has metabolism occurring inside of her and all of that, but we're looking at the energy of motion there. Okay, a gas can sitting in the desert apparently is full of potential energy, right? A lot of chemical bonds there, and it can be converted into this car, which has kinetic energy. You maybe see the pattern here, right? A guy standing on top of a tall diving board has a lot of potential. He is unstable, right? Remember, high potential means unstable. He can easily fall. Into this woman jumping off the diving board. She still has potential, right? Because she's going to fall. But the key here is that she's also moving, so she has kinetic. So you notice how they often come in pairs, right? Potential and kinetic can interchange with each other. Now another question very similar, but with words instead of pictures. And this is from your textbook. PE, by the way, means practice, exercise, 1-2. So, all right, is this potential energy or kinetic energy? Once again, go ahead and answer and then come back. So a compressed spring has potential energy, right? If you let go of it, or the energy is stored inside, you let go, it's going to spring out. A windmill turning, that was the picture we showed before of kinetic energy. Particles in a gas state colliding with the walls of their container. Well, it's the energy of motion, right? That is colliding them into the wall. So that is kinetic. A skier skiing down a mountain. It's kind of a tricky one, uh, but it's really the motion that's important there. Now, potential energy is changing as your elevation changes, for sure. But um, the answer here is kinetic, energy of motion. And pasta prepared for a meal is potential. All right, another way of asking a similar question. Here are some situations identified as potential or kinetic. Which one is wrong? Select the false identification of potential or kinetic energy. So go ahead and pause. And now that you are back, the one that is wrong is C. So particles in the solid state vibrating, well, that vibration is motion. That would be some sort of kinetic energy. And that means that the other 4 are correct. Okay, we're going to finish up with this question. So we're going to spend some time on this. This is practice exercise 1-1. We're going to be thinking about liquid water and gas water, or steam, right? There's 4 parts that kind of capture a lot of this whole section. So part A, how do the 2 states differ on the macroscopic scale? B, explain these differences by describing the atomic scale of the 2 states. C, how does the kinetic energy of the particles differ for these two states, and which state has a higher temperature. So the first question, how do the two states differ on the macroscopic scale? So what we're looking at here is volume and shape, right? Remember that we did this before without looking back. Let's try to recreate this little matrix here, or this little table. A liquid has a fixed volume, but a unfixed shape, meaning it takes the shape of its container. A gas takes the volume of its container and the shape of its container. In the words of the textbook answer, liquid water has a specific volume but adopts the shape of its container. Steam has neither a specific shape nor a specific volume. Next question. Explain these differences by describing the atomic scale of the two states. So here we want to be thinking about arrangement and interaction. How are the atoms or the particles on the atomic scale arranged, and do they interact? We didn't do it this way before, but we could set up another table and say liquid particles. Is there an arrangement? Yes. Is it an ordered arrangement? No. It is a disordered arrangement. And the particles are interacting. Think of it like the mosh pit, right? It's a highly disordered, but they're bouncing and tumbling over each other and interacting. Gas particles have no arrangement and have no interaction. Okay, and so this is how we would these two factors are how we explain the macroscopic differences that we saw before. In the words of the textbook, the particles in a liquid interact with each other while they are moving randomly, right? The disordered movement. The interaction holds the particles into a specific volume. The particles in a gas are moving more rapidly, only interact during occasional collisions. Consequently, the particles are free to move throughout the whole container. Part C. If I'm going too fast, remember you have control. You can go back or slow down, reread it, and go at your own pace. Okay? Part C. How does the kinetic energy of the particles differ for these two states? Remember that kinetic energy is the energy of motion, and particle motion. Which type are the fastest? Solid, liquid, or gas? Or have the highest amount of motion? That would be gas, and then liquid, and then solid. And since kinetic energy is the energy of motion, the same ranking fits for kinetic energy. And so we would say the kinetic energy of the gas phase is higher than the kinetic energy of the liquid phase. And finally, which state has the higher temperature? So temperature is what? How does this relate to kinetic energy? It's the average kinetic energy, right? And we saw that here, motion, gas is greater than liquid. But the same thing is true for kinetic energy. of each particle, and therefore the average kinetic energy would also be true. And so it's also true for temperature. So the gas phase has a higher temperature. All right, that's the last slide for today. So we got through the first section, matter and energy. Okay, so that's it. After this lecture, remember to find the post-lecture questions on Brightspace. I will make an announcement with right where this link is for these videos. You'll see this, but also anytime you want to, you can go to Assessments, the Assessments tab, and then Quizzes, and you'll find it there. All right. If you have any questions, let me know, and we'll see you next time.